I'm going to ask you a question. What are the best stories you can share with us here on the show? From the nightlife world, from the world of security in Ibiza?
As I said, the very best ones are the best.
Or the worst ones too, of course.
I have one about Bora that's really unpleasant, but I mean the best ones. In the end, that's what it is. It's the way they treat you, right? Because when it comes to these kinds of services, honestly, the treatment is always excellent. Because in the end, you find yourself in very, very well kept environments. And the food, the accommodation, the fact that they respect your training schedule, I don't know. To me, those seem like minor details. Why? Because in the end, the lifestyle you get to have working for people like that is it's pleasant, you know? And that more than maybe getting a certain amount of money as a tip or them trying to give you a Rolex as a gift or being at a party where they've spent just on decorations 2 million euros just on decorations, you know? Or that the girls they bring them from other countries, they look at them, they don't like them, they take the private jet and fly them back and bring others from another country. For me, more than that, it's the way certain clients treat you. That's what really makes you appreciate that this job is a good job. More than just saying, well, I can tell you that. I don't know, maybe they spend 300,000 euros on a house, that there are dwarfs in the house, then there are doctors, there are the best chefs, they bring the best DJs to throw their little party. Because in the end, it's a little party for 100 people, but they've spent 3 or 4 million to throw a party for 100 people, and we see that all the time. But for me, that's normal. It's not an anecdote, it's just logical.
Yeah, it's just logical here.
It's logical. If it isn't, it wouldn't make sense because if it isn't, it's like a muscle. They show off their muscles.
Yeah, but let me ask you, do you think they do it because they really want that party? Or is it usually just a show of status and power?
What do you think? It's a bit of both because on your birthday, you also have to treat your friends well because in the end, you have to stand out. In the end, these people just look out for their friends, only invite people they know, and don't charge for tickets or do anything silly. No, no, they're their friends, their clients, because they also have their own businesses. And it's a way to show them that life is going well for them and that as long as things are going well, they're going to be taken care of there. Like him, it's what he represents because it says a lot. Each party shows what each person is like, depending on the type of food, the kind of care. The type of marketing, the type of disc jockey, the type of everything really shows that client's personality. So it's like saying, this is my party, and this is my way of taking care of you, and this is my way of showing you who I am.
Yes, and on top of that, you're here at this event where I've spent 3 million and I'm inviting you, so feel special. That's how you form a new bond with them. I understand. Now then, what's the most unpleasant thing you've experienced in Ibiza?
I've had people die in my hands. What? I mean, drugs are really bad, as we all know, and I've had quite a few people die in my arms. That's right, isn't it? Yes.
Yes. Are you now fully anti-drug after seeing these experiences?
No, it's not just because of that. Many life experiences have shaped me. That night alone didn't leave a mark on me. But, well, we all have our personal lives, and honestly, drugs have never been a part of mine. And with all of this, it's left a big mark on me. So, back in the Bora days, unfortunately, walking along the beach, finding people and trying to get them out, and on the way, they die on you. And that's unpleasant, really unpleasant. Because on top of that, the one I remember the most, when he died in my arms, he was with his sister and his girlfriend. And when you're on the ground and you see the sister and the girlfriend punching the guy who's awake, and the guy, all covered in drool, all covered in blood, and there's no way, that's very unpleasant and it leaves a mark, but it's part of this world, part of this. Well, there are people who handle drugs well, and there are people, unfortunately, who don't. And there are some who lose control, others who enjoy them, right? I've seen people, and now this is I mean, they have absolute control over the drug, then they get their checkups, they have their IV drips. I mean, I've seen, for example, parties, well, I've seen gatherings or I've seen people on vacation. Honestly, I've been surprised by the way they handle drugs. I mean, it seemed to me I would never do it, always with respect, but with a knowledge and a way of doing it, cleaning themselves, detoxing. And you think, damn, at least they understand it, you know? I mean, it's not the typical kid who just does drugs and stays there.
Who gets all annoying?
who's always staring at them. No, no, no. Today it's just this drug. This drug does this with this kind of music, with this kind of vibe. And then we clean ourselves up in a certain way. We detox. They spend 2 days working out, doing this with IV drips, with special food so that the body can also cleanse itself. And after 2 days, a different kind of drug, with a different kind of vibe, with a different kind of music, with a different kind of, let's say, incentive. Always like that.
People who have a lot of money and a lot of resources. Yeah, they're people, I mean, they're the pro drug addicts, you know. Yeah, but unfortunately, they belong to the 1%, the 99%.
They end up. But you see, right? Yeah, yeah.
I know you're one of the most anti-drug people I know. No.
No, yes, that's right.
And for you to be telling me this, that's why I'm surprised. I mean, pro addicts?
Yes. Over time, like I said, I'm an observer. I really like to observe and learn from what observation gives me. And honestly, seeing those things, you see them and you say, damn, because I am. Now, extrapolating a bit, I'm a big follower of Escotado. Yes, Antonio Escotado.
Escotado is a great man.
Escotado has really...
His son will be coming soon.
So I think this would be a really good podcast, because honestly, that man, to me, he's a scholar. He spoke very well. He has a lot of experience in what he said. And honestly, observing them from his point of view is very interesting, and it's hard to judge, because the reality is that in the end, just like I consider that ibuprofen is a drug, yes, for me, from what I understand,
sugar is, and alcohol is too. Many things are drugs, but they're socially accepted, so you have to be careful.
Right then, to see it from that point of view and try to understand it from the perspective that that gentleman wanted us to understand, the use, not recreational, but even medical in the end, is very respectable, you know? Like I said, as you get older, you start to understand certain things.
You're not so radical, anti-drugs?
Yes, I still am, because that's not for me. I'll never do that. But understanding it, extrapolating a bit and not judging everything, that's not bad either. But I'll never use them, never. That's not for me. I'm into a healthy lifestyle. I respect myself a lot. I love myself a lot. And in the end, I know that drugs.
I agree with that, though I recognize there are various ways and contexts for doing things.
Like playing lots of sports. That might be better too, right? Yes, well...
In fact, that's a completely different topic of conversation.